Log on to mybroadband.ie.
There's a call out to all Roscommon business women because the RosWIN Network is organising a one-stop shop next Tuesday night for people who are interested in getting into business or who in fact are in business but want a little bit of mentoring support to come along and see what services are available out there, not just in terms of finance or grants or anything like that, but also supports that might help you along the way. Helen Butler is chairperson of RosWIN and she's with us in studio now. Helen, thanks very much for dropping in.
No problem, thanks very much.
Just a brief recap for listeners who aren't familiar with the model of RosWIN or what you've been doing over the past number of years.
Okay, well, RosWIN itself is based on the English model of women in business, a network of women who are in business. They elect a committee to work on their behalf, and which is what we are. And we organise events, activities, and support each other in terms of women in their business, starting business, having ideas, not sure should they, and then people who are actually in business who want to improve or who might be experiencing difficulties. So that's where it comes from. It's a voluntary organisation, and we've been running here for probably the best part of 8 or 9 years in Roscommon. And have done lots of different events, and I can talk about those later. Things that we do on an ongoing basis, like mentoring, coaching and supporting people, because there's a lot of elements to being in business. Mm-hmm. It's not just about having an idea or a product or a service mm-hmm. and actually shipping it out to customers. There's the whole interpersonal thing, the customer relations, marketing, your own particular skills. You often find that somebody has an idea or has a skill or a talent, but they may not have the business aptitude. So we can help people come in with that, and we can provide supports, provide encouragement, and when this event is over, provide a place that they can come back to if they want more information.
And I suppose people could spend weeks and weeks going through and trawling through internet resources or getting in touch with agencies. This is we've been there, we've bought a t-shirt, now we're prepared to tell you how you go about it yourself.
Exactly. That's it exactly. It's come from the membership themselves. We surveyed them last year about what are the things that they want to know and that they want us to do for them, and this is the output of that. So what we've gathered here, in addition to members of RosWIN who are there to help, but we've brought together all of the people that will support you in business, whether, as you said, through grants or finance, or whether it's through expertise, or because they work in an area that you need. So for example, we have the Roscommon County Enterprise Board, which is most interested in working with businesses of maybe up to 10 employees. So the real startup stuff. And in addition to the grants, which unfortunately are getting more scarce given the times that we're in, but they do absolutely invaluable support and moral support and encouragement, as well as the mentoring and putting people in touch. So the Enterprise Board, we also have the Leader Company, Roscommon Leader Partnership. So there are enterprise grants there that are available, and there is money, there is work involved in getting it, but there is money there to be tapped into. We have people like the Health and Safety Authority are coming to. Sometimes we forget that there are other dimensions to work. It's not just the buying and selling or maybe the getting money in that, but the Health and Safety Authority, how to do it safely, making sure that you meet legislation. A lovely woman who's there, her purpose is to make it as simple as possible.
We're all for that, because really this is the thing, the language of business, and I know we've discussed this before, can be so off-putting for women in particular, and I'm not being unkind when I say that. It is a thing that people might find off-putting, women in particular.
Yeah, well, I think around a lot of things there's now new language has been created that actually can make it quite difficult for somebody who hasn't come through that maybe field of learning. So the ordinary person who has an idea or a skill or has created something and says, I'd like to sell this, when you start to read the business pages, you think, oh my God, I couldn't possibly. When in reality you absolutely could. And that's the key message. It's really clear. You can do this.
Yes, we can, I think, is probably your best motto at all, Helen. But looking through the other speakers that you've there, I mean, accountancy and financial advice, law and legislation is another.
Simple things like, should we register with the company's registration office? Do I need to? And if I do, have I annual responsibilities that I need to attend to? Making that simple. We have a member of RosWIN who is an accountant who's well experienced and well versed in this, who can help you. We have the Citizens Information Centre they're all over the country, in Roscommon, Boyle, lots of places, so that they're there and they give very, very valuable information on lots of topics, even simple things like, should I come off social welfare and go in to start my business? Can I do the back to enterprise allowance? Things like that, and all of the information that the Citizens Information Centre gives you when you go in and talk to them is actually tailored to you, which I think is really important. It's not just handing you a leaflet.
No,
it's tailored to you.
They do sit down.
So we have life and business coaches, we have marketing and design people, and as you said, employment law, things like that. So they're all there. They'll all give little inputs into what they're doing, and there will be an opportunity for you then to have a one-to-one private session with them if you want. So you may not want to stand up and talk your problem out in public, which is understandable. So there will be time and space there for you to have a little one-to-one session with one of these experts about your particular thing if you want. You'll also have RosWIN members around on the night who are happy to talk about what they can do. You mightn't solve your problem that night, but you certainly will meet the people who can help you.
And I suppose this is the point as well, is that once you go along to something like this, you get a feel, if you hadn't thought of it before, for the uphill battle that might be ahead of you, the challenges might be ahead of you, but you would be doing that with a team of people behind you.
You will. You'll have a team of people there who some are walking it with you because they're doing the same thing as you. Others have been there for a while and maybe have come through it and can say, look, I do this, avoid that, try it this way, or you have to go through this, but we'll help you. So there is that. And again, businesses can be being an agency for some product, or it can be at lunchtime today I had a conversation with somebody that were talking about recycling old duvets and making beds for pets, cutting them up and sewing them and covering them. Perfect. And again, business comes in all shapes and sizes. We're not talking about owning a big complex or hiring lots of people. It might be a small idea that I can do in the evening time or the night time or at weekends and build it up from there. It can be a craft thing that I can do from home. It can be something that requires me to work with others and maybe hire a space and create a business office. So every shape and size.
Will people who get there on the night who aren't familiar with the network just have an idea of the people in the network, or get more information? You have a website, I think, with profiles of people if they want to do one-on-one.
We do have a website, roswin.ie. Is our website. Our members can actually get space on it so they can promote their business and promote themselves online as well. And RosWIN will have a stand at the event on Tuesday night.
Okay, so people can come along and say, well, listen, I actually want to set up my own baking company, and you'll be able to sort out, if there's somebody who does something similar.
I'll be there on the stand myself, so they can come talk to me, but there'll be lots of other network members there too. Okay,
next Tuesday night it's taking place in Helen's Hotel. I wanted to ask, I know you're RosWIN network, but we have listeners obviously in other parts of the region. It's open to everybody.
Anybody, including men.
There we go. Inclusive and all.
Inclusive in every way.
Okay, but the special touch is
is for women. Just recognising that there are lots of other things going on in women's lives as well, and that we need to manage all these things together. A businesswoman in most cases is not just a businesswoman. They have lots of other things.
And that's where this is actually coming from. It's not an exclusivity thing. It's not something that men would kind of say, oh, they're off doing it themselves. It's about actually recognising the holistic approach that women have to take when it comes to business.
Absolutely. I think that's so important. We can provide business supports, but we need to provide personal supports and encouragement as well for people, and particularly for women, I think.
And how they manage that work-life balance.
And I think the creativity of women in all its elements is what's going to come across in this recession, and it's what's going to take us through.
Are you optimistic, Helen?
I'm really optimistic. I really am.
You do, and there is a buzz about the organisation.
There's a buzz about this event. There's a buzz among women. There's a buzz among business and entrepreneurship. And even the President in his Christmas address talked about it being the small little groups, the small people doing small things. That's what's going to save us.
Okay, well we look forward to the event and hearing the feedback from it, and also sprinklings of jobs perhaps in a year or 2 years time, and that's it. And unless people like yourselves and everyone else in the Women's Network get out and lead the way and help people along, it's not going to happen.
And we're there after Tuesday. When the event's over, we're still there.
Just before we go briefly, when do you meet, if people want to know? Is it on the website every time?
It's on the website. We meet on the third Tuesday of every month.
Okay.
And we also provide a one-to-one mentoring session on the Wednesday morning afterwards. If people want to come and talk their idea through with a couple of members, maybe in a more private capacity.
Okay, and details of all of those are on your website as well, just so people aren't able to make it next week. Thanks very much, Helen, for coming into studio this afternoon. afternoon. We're going to
Thank you,
take a look
MaryClaire.
at today's bingo draw again now.